Welcome to Ladies of the Round Table, episode 33. And we got the girls back. The band's back together. Miss Nikki in the house.
Hey. Still recovering from Dragon Con.
Y'all, and then Miss Pixie in the house.
Hey.
And a special guest tonight, Miss Giovanna Lynn from Charisma 2. It is a party up in here, and we are so excited to see you guys in chat. The same people back every week. Oh my,
coughing.
Pretty.
What was that?
That was Pixie exploding. Yeah.
I'm a lady.
Not only does she fart glitter, but I don't know what the hell she just belched out. We'll ignore her. Excuse her. We are excited to have the gang all back together. As you know, we were out covering some conventions, and I think everybody was busy over the last week, including you guys, you fans. I've seen a lot of things going on Twitter, a lot of chatting back and forth, a lot of positive things going on. I'm proud of you guys, but I also saw a lot of negative things going on. Hashtag it. Work it out, people. Don't engage in that behavior. LORT Nation doesn't do that. I know it makes you angry, but just kind of hang back, see what's happening. Before we get started tonight, I want to send out, and I know you girls want to do the same thing, our condolences to the family of Joan Rivers. Love or hate Joan Rivers, she's a pioneer in the industry across the board, whether she's a comedian, actress, entrepreneur, businesswoman. She has paved the way for a lot of us to do and say the things we want to say with no regrets and no abandonment of our own issues. So we really want to send out some love because it's important to know that she was important to us. Specifically for myself, I can say personally that she influenced me in a lot of ways to speak my mind and not be afraid to do so. So condolences to her family. And you guys want to say a few words, be my guest, or we can roll on to the next topic. So, Nikki?
I just say roll. I feel the way that you do. You said enough.
Pixie?
I don't like crying.
Absolutely. I love Joan Rivers. That woman was hysterical. And she's definitely going to be missed.
I just think poor Melissa.
Yeah.
You
know, because they were so close.
Yeah, I know that she has mentioned in the press and on Twitter that even though obviously her sudden passing of her mother is devastating to her and her son, they have had an outpouring of people expressing how important Joan was or how influential she was to the masses, and that is helping her cope with the loss of her mom. So, you guys remember to be kind out there on the interwebs, and your words do affect people. What you post is think before you post something up, all right? We want you guys to be a little bit more responsible with your social media because it's becoming quite dangerous out there to take things back. Yvonne, what do you think? Anything you want to say about Miss Joan Rivers?
I am perfectly good with what you've said and totally agree.
All right.
I think it was a nice homage.
Yes. Let's talk about you, Miss Thing.
Moi?
Yes, you. You got quite a resume. You got it going on, baby girl. You got some things. You are busy. Not only are you on the board of IGDA for the Dallas chapter, you have acted in 40 films, various video games, whether it be voiceover or character models, and you speak multiple languages, which props to you, as well as... Go ahead, Nikki.
I was going to say, do you speak Klingon?
Do I speak what?
Klingon?
No.
Nobody speaks Klingon,
Damn.
Klingon anymore.
Hey, you
Yes,
know
we
what
do.
well, she's got a MacBook Pro there.
No,
You can
we
put
all
it into
speak
Klingon.
Elven.
I could.
Elven.
I so.
Yeah,
Elven?
hashtag Lord of the Rings, baby.
The younger kids speak that. They're
I would love to
Elvish.
speak Elven actually. I don't speak
Bothan.
Elven. Well, it depends on if it's
Oh my
plural.
goodness.
I want to speak like big language, so all of them. But yeah, I don't speak Klingon. But yes, I usually do have quite a bit going on. You're right. You're right there.
Not to mention your charisma +2. We
That's
like
my
to
baby.
it's magazine, model agency, and then some. That's why the plus is there, because there is so much to the brand.
You know that it came from Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yes, but why don't you tell the fans who don't know where the name came from, as well as, you know, some of the things that you're working on currently, and some
Right.
of the things that you're most proud of, you know, that you've done.
Okay, I would say that okay, Charisma +2 came because the idea was that it needed to be specifically geared towards gamers, and so when I would approach a gaming studio or a game client, they would it almost be like the instant, oh yeah, I get it. Charisma +2, that's awesome. And it was really funny because initially I hadn't thought about it that people that are strict FPS people may not get it. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Then what? And so, but it came along. It came along pretty good. And so, yeah, the idea was to take gamers. And now, see, we're going back. Okay, so it's been public for 8 years, actually, as of this month.
Wow,
But
congratulations.
thank you,
Wow.
thank you. I'm really excited about that. It's been quite a trek and journey, that's for sure. So I was taking tomboys. My first model was Lauren, who's now married to Cliff Blazinski, who made Gears of War and is now the CEO of Boss Key Productions, and it's going to come out with something pretty epic and not epic.
Not epic,
It's
yeah.
come out with something pretty awesome. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Free to play. It'll be
Right.
cool. But she was so freaking adorable, and I had been getting to know her for a year over it was a year-long tournament called Miss Video Game, which is kind of interesting. When you go back this long, you start to think about how far we've come, because at the time, seriously, and now hardly anybody can imagine it, but people really didn't believe that girls gamed. Now, pretty much everyone either knows a gamer that's a girl, or is dating one, or has a friend, or a friend of a friend,
Or
but it's
wishes they
not
could
that-
date one. Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
But at the time, they really didn't even believe it. So it was kind of really new territory. And at the time, girls that were gamers were pretty much all dressed like tomboys. Lauren had never worn a pair of heels, never worn a dress. She had worn makeup because she was she had worn makeup, but she hadn't worn a dress, not even to her prom, because she went out with the guys. She was like one of the guys, right?
Yeah.
So it was a lot more back then. It was a lot more getting to educate all the girls into how to be marketable to marketing people, because this may surprise a lot of people, but not every developer in the gaming industry is actually a gamer or even cares. They're from a marketing background. And so traditionally they think, oh, I'll have the pretty girl or whatever. And it took some years to convince them, look, you can have a girl that's on your scale 3, 4, 5 times lower, but be so much more potent and powerful because she games. The attendees will love it, right? And that they have mind share. They have mind share, using all their buzzwords, you know, and it took a while to convince them that really it doesn't really matter how pretty they are. They're gonna you know, it doesn't care, right?
So I think that back when you started, you're right. It did take a while for you to break into the industry, and kind of you had to do a lot of talking, I'm sure, more than anything else, meetings and trying to convince someone why they should bring in the models, because models were not a common thing back when you started.
Right.
There were booth babes, but
right.
there
Booth
weren't
babes, but not
models.
for the game. You're right.
Yeah.
Not with the game. And actually, Morgan is a friend of mine. She started Frag Dolls. And
Right.
Amber was a little bit, Amber Dalton with PMS was a friend, but also we were all contemporaries. And so everybody just kind of took off on their own way of what they were going to pursue and what they were going to do. I remain friends with all of them. I love them all. And it is kind of interesting because mine was the only one that was a business per se that was not funded by or sponsored by one. That was my big thing. I wanted
studio,
people.
yeah.
I didn't want to have one studio at the time. I wanted to be that because I wanted it to be all kinds of the gamers. You know, I'm like, for instance, I'm not a big Dota player. I'm absolutely horrific at RTS games, but I wanted to be able to have that for someone else. You know, so yeah. It was very different though because even the Frag Dolls were rather revolutionary at the time, but there were no modeling agencies that had gamers that you
So
could
I
hire.
think the difference
Oh, wow.
between your agency and a lot of other agencies that people don't know about, there's competition for you. People
Yeah.
don't really pay attention and know that there are other agencies that book models. But the difference between your agency and said B agency or C agency is that your models actually play the game. Your models actually can have a conversation with a convention goer and talk stats, characters, and
Right.
specifics, either with the fans or the developer. So it's a little
Right.
bit more engaging for the
Right.
normal
Oh, good.
versus the normal I should say agency or
Right.
model. So let's
And
talk
it's
about that. What kind of a stringent process do you have for someone to apply to be a model? You know, I know that you just don't take anybody.
right. Well, I'll tell you what, initially, also going back to what you just said a second ago, now that we have been here for a while and the competition can see what we do, you'll have them give them a cheat sheet or whatever of the highlights of their product or their game or whatever. But there's such a difference. I mean, for instance, okay, has anybody here played Skyrim?
Mm-hmm.
Have you played Skyrim? Have you played Skyrim? Okay. If you were to be given the stats on a piece of paper but have never have played it, it would be totally different the way you would represent that to a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you
Right.
have firsthand experience, it's like, okay, which I mentioned Skyrim because it's my favorite game. Like I think pretty much it's my current all-time favorite game. But it was something that, you know, it was life immersive. That was my life. So how I explain that to someone else is going to be totally different than someone going, okay, you can go to different cities, you can wander, you can do, you know what I'm saying? So even if other agencies try to have that, then it doesn't really translate the same as someone having a real passion and firsthand experience. And I remember we got a lot of grief. This is a couple of years back. So funny when I think back of all of our clients, but with 2K, with Gearbox, we were doing Duke Nukem at PAX East, and somebody came up to the girls and was being a real smarty pants and like, oh yeah, whatever. And so they started going, you know what? Look, this is not supposed to be your serious, you know, really, you know, Call of Duty game or something like that, right? This is tongue in cheek. It's an homage to a tradition that's been there forever. And yay. And
All right. The alcohol
About-
has arrived.
Did you get a drink?
Woo! Did you get drinks?
yes.
Yeah.
It's about
that's
fucking
what I'm
time.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, now take a sip.
But yeah, what was really funny was because the girls were dressed like the girls that were in the deal, which nowadays is not that big a deal. They were wearing like a schoolgirl
Right.
outfit. And nowadays they're half naked, and so that's different. But at the time, it was like, oh my God. And then when the girls could come out and say everything about the game and then play it and show them how to do it and what to do, it was like, oh my God, you actually know what you're talking about. Like, yes, I know. And then on the other hand, we have other agencies that play games, but they're not models. It's because it takes an insane amount of work to make an agency really professional.
Yep.
Well, okay, like you running this, Carmen, you know what it's like working with not just girls, people trying to get something together Well, when you're trying to work it, thank you, bless you, bless you, and so hello,
Cheers.
and
Good job.
cheers. It's there's a lot of work involved. You can't just have gamers that come there because 9 times out of 10 they don't look like models. So you have to get the blending of the two. Is what's been a big issue, and I think I totally went off of what you told me to say.
It's
Anyway,
okay. I think
sorry.
Nikki's got a
No,
question for you.
no,
So it's
no,
good.
it's perfect. Normally I go back and I ask you questions like, what gave you the idea and how did you set it up? But you went off on a rant and gave like answers to every question that was in my head at the time. And I'm sitting here going, perfect guest. I don't even have to talk. You're wonderful. But
But I
can
like
you
your
bring us?
voice.
Well,
So
thank you.
ask something anyway.
Can you bring me back to that point, like when you got this idea, and tell me what like sparked it? Like what was the beginning of it?
Okay, I can. This is emblazoned on my brain. I had just come back from modeling in Europe for 6 years. I met a girl and we became friends instantly. And she told me, "Hey, you know what?" And she wasn't a gamer at all, but she goes, "I think you'd really like this gig. It's out in LA. It's a bunch of geeks." And I'm like, "Oh my freaking god, it's E3, right?
Nirvana.
Oh my god, that's it. How'd you know?" And I'm like, so I was like, "Well, who are you working for?" She goes, I think you could work for me. I go, "Who are you working for?" She goes, "Nintendo." And I went, God, do you think they'll take me? She goes, "Well, of course they would." And it ended up, I didn't even know promo modeling existed except for like for cars. As the girl in front of the car, I was like, "Get out of the way. I want to take a picture of the car." That's what promo modeling is, right? And so I was like, "Yeah, heck yeah." So I did it and I didn't even have any experience with it. I ended up doing like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 interviews in 4 or 5 different languages and all this stuff before I even found out we're not supposed to talk to the media. But I thought that there were a bunch of I thought there'd be a lot of gamers there because
Yeah.
even I don't even know if G4 wasn't even out yet. It was it was screensavers and tech TV.
Screensavers with oh god, Leah Laporte.
Leo Laporte.
Leah Laporte and Andy and all those guys. Yeah. Love
That's
him. Love him.
great. I
Yeah.
mean, don't you love Leo. I saw him like not last year, but last year, year before, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I've loved you forever." He's doing like some show up in Canada now, but man, that was great TV. Which is where Morgan got started too. She was
He's
like,
got his
remember
own
when Ferreira were small?
yeah. Leo started his
But
own
yeah.
network.
Oh, great. Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, so what happened was, no, I did know Kevin Ferreira. So they had us meet, all the Nintendo girls meet the day before, like orientation. And we're all out in this like meeting area, and there's like a sea of booth babes all in the black dresses like we were supposed to be. And Kevin walks by, and I'm like, "Pereira!" And he's like, "Wow," because you're just not expecting that, right? And the girl next to me goes, "Who's that?" And I went, "Oh my god." So my very first day, and I've said this like 100 times, but it's the coolest thing ever. I met Miyamoto, and
Whoa.
I know.
Mind blown.
Mind blown indeed. And so then I got to talk to him, via translator, of course, for 3 days.
She went silent.
We lost your sound.
Oh no.
Well,
Talk. I
I
can't
think
hear
she
you.
might be DCing. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see. She's got a lot of energy and
Yes,
awesome.
we love Ivana.
Awesome.
And you guys,
guest.
if you didn't know, Ivana is one of our advisory board members. And as you know, Sharvasa is a workaholic, and Ivana is, well, my soulmate because she's just as bad as I am. We got Energizer Bunny batteries. We don't stop.
Yep.
So it's great to have somebody who is just as passionate about what they do come on board and use that knowledge that she has and that experience that she has in the industry to support us and our charity and what we're doing with our brand, which is obviously, if you don't know by now, what is it, Pixie? Pixie, is she live?
Geeks for Equality.
There you go. I think it took her a minute. Her brain had to flip a switch.
No,
Yeah, guys. Pixie and
I
Nikki have
wanted
come
the
back from
dramatic
Dragon Con.
pause.
Oh, did you
Oh,
now?
I'm coming out. I'm trying to
You
type
did.
something.
Wait, where's my Dragon Con badge?
Yeah, Dragon Con coverage coming up here shortly.
Okay, so I wanted to cover up my real names, not like. But yeah.
You ashamed of your real name your mama gave
No,
you?
it's on my Dragon Con pass. Oh,
What's with the
and
little-
because
What's with the
because
little
I'm amazing.
ribbon? What's the little ribbon?
VIP access.
She was so
Oh,
was so
press.
impressed by getting VIP access.
Aww.
She was like, "Look what I got! Look what I got!"
I know, it was her first convention that she had
I-
press.
You
I got a
jelly?
hug.
You jelly? It's my first convention ever where
I
I had
got
a
a
press
hug.
pass, and I was like,
I got hugged by Richard Garriott. That's all I care.
So
I was
have
called
to
me
done
pretty.
after that. What?
Uh-oh.
You did-
the
Go
wait,
ahead.
Dread Pirate Roberts called me pretty.
Wait. I also got hugged by Pixie.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's lots of love in the air. Hey, while we're waiting for Yvonne to pick back
you
up,
see me?
I think we can hear you.
You see me?
Not yet.
All right, so let me do the on and off the IT crowd.
Go for it. Hey, so
Yeah,
while
I've just
while
turned
we're
up.
waiting for Yvonne to pick back up, we're going to have Pixie go ahead and give some shout-outs for the chat. Go ahead, Pixie. Who's in chat?
So we have Mal, my favorite person on Curse. I love you, Mal. You're amazing.
Curse. Yeah.
Woohoo!
From the Infinite Crisis team, the Curse Infinite Crisis team. Of course, we have Jericho. He's one of our lovely devoted
Jericho
moderators.
is our stream team coordinator.
Absolutely.
Props to Jer.
We appreciate everything he does. So we have Angra, we have Brumfondle, also known as
Brumfondle,
Buttery
every
Biscuit Butt. We have Fuckbabak, Crazy V8. We have Mill Spy. We have MMO Buff, although I think maybe they're a little not so buff right now. Hopefully, put on some clothes. No one wants to see that. And we have Rainbow Pies, and then of course we have all of us, as well as one of our lovely members on the stream team right now, Snarky. It's
And
nice to see you
MMO
here.
Buff. We see MMO every week. Thank you for the support, guys. And
Okay, for
Mooba. We got Mooba, always.
Are we
Moobot.
really giving shout outs to Moobot now?
I am. You know why? Because I love it when Moobot
Moobot.
slaps you guys.
I don't know. Did Moobot just get rid of 4 people when you said a shout out to Moobot?
No, he didn't. So it's cool. All right, guys. So back to Yvonne because I'm sorry because you were rudely interrupted. I think the Twitch bunnies got you.
The Twitch bunnies, that's okay.
Twitch bunnies are coming for you. I know that we asked the question. I should say I asked the question of if someone was interested in maybe breaking into the industry and becoming a model for Charisma 2. Where do they go to look up what's going on and how they can do it, or maybe figure out who you're repping right now? All the information. Where do they go look?
Like, do they need seniors?
Huh?
I said, do they need seniors?
And what's the age requirement?
You have to be 18, but really it's best if you're over 21 because by that time I can rely on you a little bit more. And that sounds so ridiculous, but it is true. A lot of the events will have a lot of drinking, and so it's just easier. Okay, I'll tell you this: it's 18 and over, unless it's an industry-only event like a GDC or E3. Then it's 21 and over. And I actually don't have a problem with being older because, by and large, those people are more reliable. They usually have bills and things. So I know they're going to show up for the job. Actually, we haven't had any problems. I'll talk about that more in a minute when we talk about PAX. But where you go is charismaplus2.com. That's CHARISMAPLUS, like the plus sign.
Yep,
And
links
then the
going
number
over chat.
2.com. And there is a tab that says apply. I know, it's crazy. That's how you do it. Actually, this is a fantastic time because by and large, the GameCon season is pretty much over with PAX. I mean, yes, you have BlizzCon and some smaller vendors there.
PAX South?
PAX
PAX South?
but that's next year.
PAX
That's
Australia.
true. There's lots of
PAX
things in
Australia.
January and February, right? January and
Yeah.
February gets busy.
Yeah, and it really starts getting really busy. Well, now that PAX South is here, I guess it'll start in January. But it really, GDC traditionally has been the start, which is in March. But now, yeah, in South by Southwest, doggone it, they're always like right on top of each other.
Yeah.
They're getting bigger in their game departments. But yeah, it's a great time because now you can get your stuff together. You can't just send in a bunch of selfies. That really doesn't fly. So if you go to the Apply tab, it tells you everything. Am I on?
Great. Yes, you are on. We can hear you just fine.
All right.
So Nikki, you got some questions for the guests?
She was right in the middle of answering a really good one. She was like, with the Nintendo people wearing a black dress and telling us how it all got started.
Oh, yeah. So
Which is
basically,
wonderful.
So basically, that's what happened. Is I ended up working for Nintendo, talking to Miyamoto, realizing that, oh my God, and what my aim was to not be a model. My aim was to find a good outlet to write for, and that's what I did. I found they're not in existence anymore, but Advanced Media Network was. See, it just shows a picture of the icon. It doesn't show me. Huh.
That's
Anyway,
okay. We can still see you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we can
that's
see
cool. You can see great. But I really wanted to find a good outlet to start writing for. That's why I started the magazine. It's not like it's going to compete with anybody like Kotaku or maybe not Kotaku. It's not like it's going to compete with Polygon or something like that. It's there so that girls can, if they feel like it, try to start getting their feet wet with writing in a safe environment. Because it's, as you know, and this might segue into something else you want to talk about, the internet can be so hard, especially going back 8 years ago, there were not a lot of female writers, but even to today, they can be so hard. And if I was controlling it, then I knew I could, like, block people.
That's what we're talking about.
And then, so I wanted to give them a safe environment to get their feet wet. And, if it wasn't perfect, fine. If it was, then they were like, for instance, our by far our best writer, Mary Morgan, had never written before. And she's like, I just don't know if I can do it. And I wanted to bring her on board. She's not typical booth babe material, although now it changes, so it's great. But she's a voiceover actress. She's been in lots of games and anime. But she wanted to be in it. And I said, well, why don't you start writing? Well, I've never written before. And now she gets compliment letters from developers and award-winning, game audio people, all kinds of things. So it was nice for her to just have that avenue.
Oh, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Nikki because I love her.
I was told the best thing ever.
Stupid.
So be on the lookout. Curse Mal is going to apply to Charisma Plus 2 in his booty shorts so that he can twerk at all of the events.
Twerking, Mal. That's a vine, Mal. That's a vine. I need to
Scary,
see it.
because gamer guys are all fat with neck beards and stink.
Not true.
Whoa!
Hey,
I know it's not true.
Don't even talk about my Mal like that.
I know Mal is
you.
hot.
Let me
I
ask
know
the
he's hot.
expert. Ivana, do you have men on your staff?
I do. In fact, we had a really great guy at San Diego Comic-Con, and another great guy work at PAX. We had a guy this year who is the next lead in the next BioWare game, not the one that was just announced, but the next one. He's going to be the lead character. He's gorgeous.
Do you have a place for? Do you have a place for cats?
Oh,
I have a place for cats
you.
in my heart.
In her heart.
I've got you. I'll be the best plus size midget model you've ever had.
Oh, stop it! You're not a midget. You're a small person.
I have quite a few plus size girls, and even if they are not tall, I'd say most of my models aren't. I'd say probably average height is 5'5".
What if they're taller than that and broader than that and old?
Love it. You're hot.
There is a place for each of us, okay?
There actually is a.
All right, so this is what we need to do. We all need to apply.
We need a group shot. That's what we need. It's like Charlie's Angels up in here.
It is.
Come on now.
Hey,
Pixie and I were ready to shoot a picture the other day.
Hey, Carmen, did
Yes.
you have Ash Monif on the other day?
Yes, we did.
Okay, see, he is a a great and fantastic developer because, and I'm hoping that there will be more like him. That, well, you know what? Let me take that back. Gearbox has had plenty.
Let me take that back. That sounded wrong, but okay.
No, he's great.
He's great. All right, there you go.
He's great. I was gonna say he's the first, but he's not, because Gearbox has had some fantastic, not perfect shit. They're not all like Mad Moxie. That's what everybody wants to cosplay
Agreed.
as, right?
Agreed.
But you have everyone all over the board with Gearbox games, and that's really cool. And as that starts to happen, I think we'll be seeing it more and more. And I'm really happy to see the tide change, that developers and clients are using people that aren't necessarily the stereotypical model.
Yep, average model. I agree. And I think we have seen that in some of the indies that are coming out as well, like you said, for Ash and their game. And everybody's kind of really excited to see what's. I mean, if you didn't get to play it at PAX, you'll have your chance to play it at PAX South. I think that there's going to be opportunity for growth in the industry to be able to showcase women in every form. So Pixie, don't worry. There'll be some places for little people too. It's all right.
Yeah, Willy Wonka, Oompa Loompas.
Look, if you ever need anybody to cosplay a box troll, I've got you covered.
Oh, box trolls are so cute.
You know what I think Pixie would be good at is BioShock. What's that little girl? What's it? The little sister. Yes, you would love that. She would love it. She loves BioShock, and I think you would do an excellent job.
BioShock on my iPad now.
I'll tell you what, one of the most interesting things was I actually have had over the last year, I've had some girls that were very non-traditional models. One of the problems has been that often they are not as confident. We were talking about confidence, I think, before we went on the air. And not as extroverted and not as, grab the attendees' attention, pull them in, keep them there, and educate them.
Right.
That was what I was finding with the girls that were not as traditional model looking. And so sometimes it's an interesting business. It goes much more deep than people would have really originally think. And yet, by the same token, it's really hard for me because by and large, I don't get a high demand for the non-traditional model. So I've told girls before that are just awesome. I love them, but I know they won't get called on. And it's a marketability as well. So I have some, but they don't get called on nearly as much as the other girls do. And that's just.
So is that a difficult role for you when you know that someone is great, all around, wonderful person, they could do a lot, but there's just not the market for them? I know that. Go ahead.
It breaks my heart. Like, you have no idea how it's personally, it's heart-wrenching. It's really hard for me to tell someone, because I know the clients at this point. And now that I have bookers, so this last year, what happened was, because I have so many videos and so many things online, I don't have to actually answer each individual person anymore. I can direct them to a video or to some information that will help them. I don't have to be there as hands-on, and I hired bookers, and all of the talent were like, yeah, but then they won't know us. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the point. Because, because by and large, what happens is I will
Nikki,
find
get
someone,
the cat ass out of the camera.
No, cat ass is awesome. That I will find them more attractive according to.
I'm allergic. Sorry.
Let her talk. Hush.
The more I know someone, if they're sweet as pie or vivacious and exciting and adorable, I will, in my mind, they are so beautiful, and the client may not see it that way. So I had to get bookers who were a lot more objective. And I
can understand that.
Balls. I got to see, that's the worst part of my job, is saying no.
No, has anything changed since E3 changed their format from going from all the booth babes to what they're doing now?
Yeah, there's a lot fewer booths.
Yeah. Less boobs?
I was at E3, and I can honestly say that is true.
Less boobs?
Well, that's good. But you know what?
Yeah.
I personally, I love it. I really like being able to go there, and it seems so much more professional. What I think maybe because, and it goes back to the same thing that I was facing 8 years ago. Is no, these aren't just booth babes. They're people who they're product specialists, and so I end up having to go through that. But yeah, it happens. It's an ebb and tide, and whatever. I'm not really that caught up on it. It is what it is. And for instance, this last at PAX, we had a client, Wargaming, who hired a dozen girls, and
Yeah.
they just sent me a thing going, we have worked with tons of agencies. Yours was by far the best. We
Now
absolutely loved
those
them. We'll be working with you again. It's great.
now
Huh?
those girls that you sent there, they actually played World of Tanks.
Yes, in fact, all
Oh,
of them
come on.
no, they did. And they had like 4 or 5 different platforms you could play on. Like not everyone played the PC version. Some played they had an iOS
Xbox One.
Blitz.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
They had iOS Blitz and all these different ones. So that what they would do is they would take the girls that had played that game, talk about that game. So it was
Awesome.
really cool.
I
Yeah.
like that. That is encouraging.
Yeah, and in fact, every single time a girl is, I have a casting for something, I'll let them know who it's for, and they will come back and they'll say, "Hey, look, I downloaded this, I got this," and sometimes the developer will send me codes for the girls to see if they do it, and because it's the developer, they can see who plays.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
So,
it's cool.
were you always such a nerdy girl?
She
I
didn't
was
say
always,
dirty. She said nerdy.
oh, nerdy.
Well,
I
you know
was
what
gonna get
Jason
on.
Derulo
Pasta.
says? Talk nerdy to me.
I'll tell you what.
I miss
Yes,
Bonks.
but I wasn't. I didn't. My parents didn't get me my own console, so I had to go to my friends. And I would say that once I was back from Europe, well, no, even before I left, I had my own PC. So I did PC gaming before I left for Europe. But you can't lug that around all over,
Console.
you know. So
What's a console?
yeah, it's something you do when someone's sad. You console them.
There's a
But
lot of sad
yeah,
people out there.
I did a lot more when I came back and I had a home, and then I've been all PC and console since then. I don't do a ton of handhelds actually.
So do you play Skyrim on the PC or console or both?
Both,
Which one do
and
you like
same with
better?
Diablo. I like them both. It just depends. I really do. I gotten all of my characters up to 70 and started paragoning in Diablo as well. And I did the same thing with Skyrim. And then when it came out on console, I ended up doing the same. I just started over. I didn't like import from my previous one or previous
Okay.
Elder Scrolls or anything. I just started all over, and I ended up doing it all over again anyway. I guess it just depends. It kind of goes in phases, and I do the same thing with FPSs. Like, I think someone was asking me if Diablo was my game, and it is my game du jour. But I also play a lot of Marvel Heroes. But also, I guess Tuesday, am I wearing it? Yeah,
No,
Destiny.
there's
Destiny.
oh
Destiny
wow,
on
that's
Tuesday.
coming.
Did
Yep,
you check out our
Destiny on
articles
Tuesday.
on Destiny on the website? Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Derek's been writing
So
great
Tuesday,
stuff.
So we have somebody in
Diablo.
chat. We have somebody in chat that's chiming in, and they're telling you they want you to play Eve.
Yeah, that Crazy 8 guy is
Play what?
Mrs. Bonk or Mr. Bonks. That's who
Eve.
that is, guys.
Mrs.
So
Bonk.
Mr.
Crazy 8 is
Bonks.
Mrs. Bonks.
Mr.
So,
Bonks. Oh,
shout
he's
out
so
to
lucky.
Crazy 8. He's played Eve for years, and he's trying to convert everyone on the planet.
You need to be a
Eve,
master of
so.
Microsoft Excel to play that game.
You need to have
I'm not a master at Microsoft. I can play
a lot of
it.
time on your hands.
I can use it, but I would not say that I'm a master. Okay, I'm gonna have to get on.
Yes, Wolfie. She did say Marvel Heroes, by the way.
I love Marvel Heroes. I love Marvel Heroes. I have over. I think my Raptor says I have 125 or 150 hours in it. Okay, what is the Twitch? Is it LORT?
It's Ladies of the Round Table, all one word. Make sure you follow people if you're not following. Following gets you prizes.
Prizes are always nice.
We give out
It's like
prizes.
not why you.
We do give out prizes. Go tell your
It's not-
friends.
Oh boy, I
Hey,
can't
Pixie,
wait.
you're awful quiet over there.
We're gonna
Are you
have to.
just listening, sweet girl?
We're gonna have to hook a car battery up to those piercings in her mouth to get it moving again.
I'm just enjoying the wonderful company.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
Ivana
not
is
talking
awesome.
about you, Carmen.
Hey,
I know.
I know
Pixie
you're
and I
not talking
bond.
about me.
Pixie and I bonded at Dragon Con.
Yes, you guys had
I'm
a
not
moment.
talking about you either.
Oh, bitch!
So what?
One night it's
More about
over.
drag-
I'm sorry.
Well,
What?
That's
More
the
about
way my
that.
love works. Hit it
She
and quit
loves
it.
love for ransom. That's how. Ooh, hit it and quit
Yeah.
it. Damn. Anyway, I'm moving on. Segue in to my next important notes and announcements. All right, guys. So we're about to just get a little bit of a mood killer here. I want to talk about this here petition that has gone up on the internets. And if you don't know what it is, I should say petition, open letter, whatever you want to call it. And I think that Aegon's going to throw up a link. There
Oh,
have been hundreds of AAA and independent game developers that are signing this open letter. It's out for everyone to see about hate speech and harassment in the community because it's getting out of control.
Let me tell you, I know this.
And
one.
as of September 1st, there have been more than 600 people who have signed this letter. And this stems from a lot of incidents that have been going on in the community. As you know, Pixie and I did After Dark LORT last week, if I'm not mistaken, or week before. And we talked about the Depression Quest incident that went on with Zoe Quinn. And there's also been things that go on with various people in the industry. And I don't know what the hell is wrong with some people, but they feel like they can just go out there and say whatever they want to say. Call you out your mama's name that she gave you. They can send a bunch of pizzas to your house. By the way, trolls, I have a teenage daughter. Send more pizza. It's okay. She'll eat it. It doesn't bother me. It's free. Bring it. I'm not scared.
I love it.
And also, I got to get on my little stool here. All right, this issue has been going on forever, and it has become escalated on top of escalated on top of escalated, and it doesn't seem to be going away. We would not be a responsible media outlet if we did not take some time to talk about this. I have said time and time again, my girls have said time and time again, my boys have said time and time again, just because you don't agree with something, or you don't like it, or it's not your cup of tea, does not give you the right to harass someone on their personal time, on their social media, at their job, and to cut them off from making a living because you don't like it. You're not that special. You don't get that much power. So, freedom of speech is a privilege. It's not a right that is thrown around for you to do whatever you want with because it's there. All of you fans out there that are watching, and all of you fans that are going to be watching on YouTube, you guys know what to do. We expect you guys to be above this crap. We're geeks for equality. Go out and make us proud. All right? That's all I'm asking. Do what you do best. You guys, I'm going to throw it to Pixie.
All right. So, as many of you have heard, there's this event going on Reddit that has now come to be known as the Fappening. Now, before anyone gets all like, knickers in his
What?
wrist, this is called the Fappening, Fappening. So this is tons of
Not like,
celebrity
what's
photos.
happening back in the day. But
Tons of celebrity photos, just straight up hacked, and then leaked on the internet. Kate Upton, Jennifer Lawrence, Ariana Grande, Kaylee Cuoco, Christina
Ariana Grande?
Hendricks, Scarlett Johansson, and those are just a few of the names. Now, tons of these photos have been leaked on Reddit, on Twitter, 4chan. The photos have been uploaded to places like Imgur. Now, there are people who are legitimately going around and taking down these photos. This is a leak of literally someone hacking into people's personal phones. Now, there were confirmations by some publicists that these were, in fact, this person's photograph. Other celebrities are kind of denying this, and the internet is blowing up over whether or not they're real or not. But there are a couple of interesting things that have been happening here. Number one, it was asked that if you fapped to any of these photos, that you donate money to the Prostate Cancer Society. Now, this was done. A lot of people actually donated money, and the issue is the money was returned. They said, no, thank you, we're not taking this. So then they were like, donate the money to this charity that tries to get clean water for third world countries and people
awesome.
in third
Clean
world
water.
countries.
Yeah.
Totally wonderful. Totally. It's I think it's just like the Clean Water Project.
Right. I know a couple of YouTubers do a marathon for it.
Well, and it's like a super awesome thought. Once again, the money is not accepted. Now, I understand that like taking the money is like condoning something like this, but the simple fact is this happened, this occurred in an age of modern technology where things like this can occur. You have an expectation of privacy, but you can't also like be shocked when something like this occurs. So why not take it and allow something good to come out of it? And I think the charity should have taken the money. That's my personal opinion. I don't think they should have hacked anyone's phone ever. I think that's incredibly wrong. And of course, all of this is being looked into by like the FBI. But I do think that it's important that people acknowledge what's occurring here. And it's something bad happened, and someone tried to turn something good out of it, and they were denied that opportunity, because every bad situation has a silver lining. Thanks, Jennifer Lawrence, Silver Linings Playbook.
So let me ask you guys this, because having a teenage daughter, this is a life lesson in so many levels that I can share with her, and I don't have to pull something out of my ass and make something up to have a conversation about things I really don't want to talk to her about. Sexting and all that stuff that I'm not ready for. However, the door has been opened and I must go to the lights. So there's two sides of this for me as a parent of a tween daughter. You should just not take pictures like that on your phone if you don't want them to get out. Just don't do it. However, as an adult, as a person,
say no to nudes,
who is over 21, because I won't say 18 because that's not okay with me if my daughter does any of these things, but if a person that's over 21 wants to take pictures of themselves, clothes or no clothes, top or no top, bottom or no bottom, you can do that. But there are ways to make sure that this is safe and secured. Don't leave it on your phone. I mean, Nikki, what do you think? I mean, you're a little more advanced in the OMG, there are still Polaroids. You're a little more advanced in the technology than I am to be aware of how you can remove this from your Google account or your cloud or wherever you got it automatically uploading, because that's part of the problem. People are not savvy enough with the technology to understand what happens behind the scenes once it's on your phone.
Well, people don't know that the phone, if you leave Bluetooth open or if you're using different services like Twitter and Facebook and other items, that they could open holes into different systems. And I've got to be very vague in this, right?
Yes.
So it's mostly in the Windows and Android market, but it does exist in some others too. But the basis is that, I don't condone telling people not to do this, right? It's up to them.
Agreed.
Right?
I think as an adult, I mean, I could see it as a parent.
But that's what they do, right? Why shouldn't they be able to? right?
Because if it's my minor daughter, no, thank you. But as an
No,
adult,
but we're not
sure, if you
talking
want to
about,
do it,
but we're
if you
talking
want to do
about
it,
celebrities here, right?
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
We're
saying
not
that
talking
if you
about
want to
minor
do it.
daughters. I
You
mean, I
you
can
have to
tell.
understand that, like, as a celebrity, people are going to want to see you naked. Like,
I know that, and it's the
So,
risk
Nikki,
that they
my
take.
question to
I
you,
want to see people naked. And they're
I'm going to repeat it. I'm going
Yeah,
to repeat it so I'm clear. My question to you was, if you're going to do it from a
right.
standpoint of using the technology and understand the technology, what are your suggestions for someone to, like you said, there are other services.
Download a program that encrypts it. They have lots of
There
them
you go.
on across
That's right.
iOS. Yeah, they have lots of it across iOS and Android, where you could have a little bucket, or don't use the online services to store your photos. If you're going
Yeah,
to do that, make sure whatever sharing pieces of your phone are off, because some of these were hacked through sharing
yeah,
places
I
like
agree.
Flickr and other things, right?
Yes,
Honestly, this is ignorance, right? It's not stupidity, it's ignorance. It's people not knowing that this could happen.
Right.
And but a lot of those photos are taken in fun,
years ago.
right?
Yeah, years
Yeah,
ago, and for
and in
private
fun,
use.
right? But
Chicka bow wow.
I look at it from a point of view that all of these people just learned a valuable lesson,
Get your swerve on.
Absolutely.
Don't take pictures. Use a
right?
Polaroid camera.
Or if you're going to take them on
Absolutely.
your phone, make sure that you get them to someplace like a thumb drive that nobody's going to get. It's
Agreed.
like
Agreed.
hide it.
So
I don't
all
know.
Yeah.
of you people
I
out
don't know.
there in Lort lands, educate yourself.
I
If
don't
you're
know.
gonna make a
It's one
video,
of
What
these
do
use
you
your
things.
think?
phone.
I'm a Darwinian person. Stupidity, whatever you want to say,
Natural selection. Mm-hmm.
all of it. If you're going to do stupid things are going to happen to you. Just don't do it. And you turning it into your minor kids and everything hits home, because they gave my nephew's school all little tablets, and they were the tablets that you could hit a button and share things with everybody. And one of the boys shared a naked picture of his girlfriend, and these are eighth graders.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, so it's way underage, right?
Yes.
And the whole school was like shut down while the parents figured out what to do about this, because that kid that did that could, for the rest of his life, be labeled as a sexual offender
Pedophile.
for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right. So it's you know ignorance on the adult part, and parents need to protect more on the child part.
I agree.
Got it.
I
Yeah.
agree. And I think that when you get ready to give a child a smartphone, a tablet, a damn Xbox, people, you have
These
to
are
educate
conversations you
yourselves.
have to have with your children.
You have to
Yeah.
educate yourself before you bring that thing into the house. Because if you don't know, it's really not safe for you to buy it and think you're going to give it to your kid and they're just going to abide by the make believe rules that you haven't set. Um, I'm an advocate when it comes to technology for our kids because this is their generation. They
Right.
know things we don't know. They learn things at a capacity we never would have in school, and they will have these things in their life. They're not going away. Where, as adults, for all of us here, maybe even Pixie, these things came into our life. They weren't just there when we came out of the womb. The iPhone and apps and all this stuff. So educate yourself, parents. You know that I speak your language. You got to read up on you open the
All right.
instruction booklet. All right, just do the
I've
thing.
I got something that Pixie just brought up, right?
Go
And
for
I'm
it.
not going to mention what you said, Pixie. I'm just going to use a general statement. And it was that a certain service was hacked. This was not a service being hacked. This was people using stupid passwords that were easy to guess.
I agree with
You
that.
know
I
what I
agree with
mean?
that. And
And
we've
it's
talked
one of
about the
those things.
password thing before.
Password selection is important. And you need to use commas and dashes and spaces and stuff like that in them, because people are going to think of you and choose your kids' names, your birth dates,
Your
the best,
birthday.
they're going to look at where you live, they're going to look at where you go to school, and they're smarter than you are when it comes to thinking of a password.
I
And
like to
Use
that's
use
not
things,
my
even.
I like to use my bra size as my password, and
honey,
it's
we
you
could
wish you knew
figure,
what bra size I wear.
And you have to realize
okay.
that that's not a sophisticated hacker that's doing all of these
Right.
things that Nikki just talked about. That's just your Joe Schmo kid off the street
Right.
trying to get into your account.
Right.
They're not
This
going to. It's easy peasy.
Right. This was not a Chinese hacker breaking into a system electronically and taking down an encrypted website. This was somebody guessing a password. That's what it was.
All right, so
So
we're
it's
going to move on to
stupid.
our next topic.
Yeah,
Because
which
I know
is
we
more
get all
fun because
excited.
it involves
We get all
Ivana.
excited. Yeah. So,
Yay!
Pixie, roll it.
So, we are going to talk about PAX versus Dragon Con, which is going to be
PAX
super
versus
fun
Dragon
because
Con.
PAX versus
Well-
Dragon Con. Because
Okay.
they're always the same freaking weekend.
You got to make
Right.
a choice as a fan. You got to be like, where
Why
am I
did you
going?
do that?
So you did this PAX versus
I know.
Dragon Con thing, and I talked to Richard Garriott there, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Well, no, we could talk about it now. They had a PAX versus Dragon Con tournament in his new game. Who won? His new game is called Shroud of the Avatar. So they had a player versus player tournament in the new game, which is going to take over Ultima Online, and Dragon Con versus PAX. Who won that game? Dragon Con. We're the better game place.
Look, there's the picture. There's a picture for all of you who are watching the stream. Look at those boobs.
did you really just say that
Yeah.
Dragon Con had better gaming than PAX?
No,
Because if you did, we're about to go straight Thunderdome up in this
Hey,
bitch.
Oh,
hey,
it's after
we
dark.
had
Bring
we
out
had
the gloves.
my idol Richard Garriott there, Lord British himself, and the crew from RSI from Cloud Imperium Games. I was in heaven. To me,
Yeah, you were,
nothing
right?
else mattered. Plus, they had the lead writer on the Mass Effect series, right? That was good for me. We had
You were in
we had-
Nirvana over there.
yeah, we had interesting things going on. Yes, PAX has more gaming stuff there, but we had more interesting things.
Oh,
Dragon
it is
Con's
a
never-
personal opinion. It's down
Yeah.
to this.
Dragon Con's never going to be the gaming convention, right? It's not what it's about.
Aegon
Right,
See, I
says
have a question.
Dragon Con for games is 10 times
I will
better.
say,
for tabletop and board
I
games.
did have a lot of the different panels at Dragon Con, and
I
I,
didn't
was
see you at
very,
any of mine.
very excited about the budget burlesque panel.
Okay.
Ding!
Uh-oh.
So how many people were standing in line for that League of Legends tournament? Did you see how long that line was? It was out. It was like I thought that whole balcony was going to collapse. You know? It was
I
nuts.
have a question for you, Nikki. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I have never been to Dragon Con. Some of my really good friends, Dan Sarker and Dan and Deanna Sarker, they live in Seattle. Mind you, he used to work at id, and now he does weapons and vehicles for Halo, for 343 Industries. So they actually travel from Seattle to Dragon Con every year. That's how much they love it. Now, the reason why the question I ask you is, I've been told that Dragon Con is more like an adult playground for cosplayer and gamers, as opposed to PAX, which is more family friendly. How
It
would you?
I will. Should I tell you the story of the person that got removed from line when I was paying for my ticket because I didn't have a ticket when I got there?
Okay,
And-
tell us.
Yeah, so there was this couple and they were practically wearing nothing. I mean, the girl was wearing a G-string and the guy was wearing a diaper, and she had a collar around him and a chain. And they were like, "This is not Frolicon. We cannot sell you a ticket like that." So they went and they must have gotten changed. And the next day, I saw them wearing the same outfit walking through the streets of Atlanta. I think that
Wow.
you're correct. All right. But I think that it's because there's a lot more going on at Dragon Con than just one thing. There's multiple tracks, right? There were people waiting online for hours to get a autograph from Patrick Stewart, you know? So there's so many different things going on there, right? It's not just, oh God.
That's all I'm saying.
I
And
Children
know.
are
not,
playing
I
on back end,
know.
guys.
every
Yeah,
last one of them.
Pixie's typing in our private chat that they have BDSM panels there, and yes, they do. After fucking dark, bitch. Not in the middle of
Hey,
the daytime.
ain't nothing wrong with a little after dark.
Hey, I
Yeah,
don't know about
I
you,
know.
but like sometimes you just gotta get a little bit spicy.
Pat,
Okay,
Pixie,
like,
I stole your thunder. I want you to talk for a little bit, and then I'll talk about what I found out from the woman that tried to make gaming better this year.
oh my god. Okay, so I got there and I was like, where do I go to get my pass? So I ended up running around to like 30 different places and asking like 6 different people, none of whom could tell me until finally I found someone, which is kind of annoying, but it's also like a 4 hotel convention in like a 4 block radius, right? Like, not a
Welcome
big deal.
to press, honey.
So like I go and I get the my media pass and I'm like walking around taking pictures, you know, blah 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 blah. And I go to my first panel, which is for Infinite Crisis. I'm like super excited. I'm actually on the panel. Had a really great time. Got to explain how amazing I think Infinite Crisis is, and you know, pimp them out to like all high heaven, which is amazing, of course. And I meet the video game director for Dragon Con, who is absolutely fantabulous, a wonderful man.
Awesome.
And I
Did he
ended up
grope
running
you?
around the entire
You
weekend,
can tell
seeing
us.
panel after panel, taking picture after picture of some really amazing cosplays, like amazing. There was actually a point where I saw Indiana Jones, and then I saw another Indiana Jones like 2 steps from him, so I grabbed that Indiana Jones, and there's another Indy over there if you want to go get him. So I like run over and I'm like, Indy, can I borrow you for a second for this picture? So I like get him and I come back, and by the time I come back, another Indy walks up. So I've got this picture of these 4 Indies. Like, it's amazing. But so it's so much stuff. It's so much stuff. There's stuff on like Geek Burlesque. There's Doctor Who. There's like
Doctor Who is big this year.
costuming. There's zombies. There's monsters. Vampires. There's like
It's a lot of
some of the
nerd stuff
adult
for
There was-
everybody,
dark
right?
There was
stuff.
Ace Ventura. I mean, there was things there that I would never have expected.
Do you know who I want to
it's-
see?
it's
Guys, you know who I want to see at a convention in cosplay? I hope you guys are listening out there when you guys hear this on the YouTube. Somebody
Oh, it's
bring back
probably
Max
there.
Headroom, please, because I really
It was
really
there.
miss
He
him.
was there, and he was wearing
Seriously?
he had the TV
What?
on his head. I
Did you
swear
take
to
a
God.
picture?
No, I didn't
Oh,
because.
come on.
Did you
I
take the
did.
picture? Awesome, right? He had the thing on his
Awesome.
head.
Somebody
Yes.
post that. Hashtag
No, I
it
took.
for me. Come on. I
I
need
took
that
the
picture in
picture
my
of the
life.
20,000 death strokes in one place.
Yeah,
I
that
got
was
a
the
picture
Yeah.
of like, you know, all of the Night's Watch. There was
Oh, that
a
was awesome. That was awesome.
gigantic Lord of the Rings group. And
Right.
so like at first
What
there's
about
this
the
little
300?
boy and his dad and his like brother. And the little boy's Frodo and then like his little brother's Gollum, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cute. So, you know, I snap a picture of that, and then I look behind me, and there's just like an entire group of like elves and dwarves, all from like Lord of the Rings, and they're all like together, and the little boys run over there. So there's like this picture of like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 people cosplaying Lord of the Rings, and I'm like super excited. And like there's so many that you can't even take a picture of all of them at once. Like it was just amazing. So many great costumes. Like it was
Except-
fantabulous.
Except
I
for the
love
one
hearing-
overdone.
I love hearing Pixie's version on it because it makes me feel like it's not completely a 4-day orgy. Now it may
well,
be happening,
as
but there
long
may
as
be other things as well.
no, there are other things as well, and it's not an orgy. There are, it's a
come on.
sprinkling. It's a
It-
sprinkling. It's a sprinkling of everything.
It really is.
It's a little bit of everything, not a lot of one thing, and that's what I
Yeah,
liked about it. And if you want to get into the other crap,
Now,
you
is
can.
it tasteful? If you're talking about a sprinkling of
No,
everything,
there's
the
there's
key question
stuff
is
that's-
it tasteful for
No, there's-
everyone?
There's stuff that you definitely would not want your children to see.
Here's
there.
the thing.
Okay,
There
good
are
to
things
know.
that you don't want your kids to see, but there are also things that they require a photo ID for.
Great.
Right.
That's a good sign.
Right.
That is good. That's a good thing. And I
Right.
think that that covers the basis of what we're talking about here when we're talking about what's at both. Now,
Right.
Yvonne, did you have people at Dragon Con and you're gonna have people at
I did.
PAX?
Okay, I'll tell you. Oh, this is another really big thing that people don't think about when they think about my agency. They think, okay, because we do Comic Cons, but by and large, Comic Cons or Dragon Cons, things of this nature, Anime Cons or whatever, they don't require the vendor to hire models. Almost all of them have friends or people that will do it voluntarily.
Right.
So there's not a big call for it. However, some of the larger ones, like San Diego Comic Con, we worked for Amazon there. So, and we've worked for, Turtle Beach or bigger or 2K, the bigger studios or bigger clients will need someone. But by and large, I'd say Comic Cons are a bunch of small booths rather than the really large booths that you see at game cons, game conventions. So, yeah, at PAX we had over 15 people.
Yeah, there was nothing gamey about Dragon Con. It was, you had to go to the panels. There weren't like booths. There were panels. So that's what the difference was.
Yep.
So you could attend the panels and learn about gaming and learning about there was a lot of breaking in industry. How do you do that type panels? And that's what I liked
Absolutely.
about it.
What's the number one response to that?
The what?
Number one response to how to break into the industry.
Oh, you're asking me what it was?
Yeah. What did they say by and large?
Find someone to suck off.
That's
No,
Con
what
in a
they were
nutshell,
saying.
baby.
No, in the two panels that I was in, from like the lead like one of them had the lead writer from Mass Effect, and I think that's what she was from. She was from BioWare, and she was taking over everything. Where one guy actually clasped his hand over his mouth so everybody else could speak. The biggest thing that they were saying is that you find your way in by getting into a college that's going to teach you how to write and how to program, but it was mostly writing that I was hearing. So it was how to
That's
write.
interesting. I would say bollocks. Because, I mean, unless that's what you want to do is writing, in which case, yes, I could see that.
That's what they were talking about.
Because by and large, the gaming industry could use some really great writers. I know some and I follow them and I love them, but some of the games could use some great writers. But also, Carmen mentioned IGDA is a fantastic thing. I want to put a caveat: not all gaming groups are great for your career. There is. You'll hear about the Game Dev Drink Up. It sounds really fun, and you get together, and there's a bunch of game developers or a lot of people wanting to be game developers. My biggest complaint with them, and why I haven't ever gone to them, and I hope I don't get a bunch of hate mail because of this, but they have frequently, they're called a friendier.
A what?
There is no such thing as a friendier. Like you sign NDAs saying you can't say anything about that project, about what's going on. I'm under an NDA right now about what I'm doing right now. I get to have today off because I went to a conference and then I'm here, but I'm under an NDA right now for like the next 4 to 6 weeks. It just depends. But that means I can't talk about it. Doesn't mean I can't say, hey, we're friends. Let me tell you, which is what they do at these game dev drink ups. And what happens is that's a serious offense. If you start to tell someone about a game that let's say you're a QA for someone, right? Or your friend is a QA and he tells you about this game, but he's under NDA. That's a serious, serious, serious offense, because with gaming, unlike Hollywood, they don't always let everything know out. You don't know about games until they're out a lot of times, or until they're well developed, because someone else could take it. And so it's not necessarily, any gaming group is not necessarily always the best group to be identified with, especially if you want to be taken professionally, which and I hate to say this, but as a female, you almost have to be even more above reproach than anyone. You can't, or everyone will think you're sucking off, and you're not, and you're like, Jesus sucks ass. I have to do it better than anyone else, more correct than anyone else, above water, above moral judgments and everything. So be real careful with who you do associate with. But I would say that IGDA if y'all don't, if y'all not familiar with it, the International Game Developers Association has, I mean, hundreds of them all over the world. It's a great association to get involved with, and then they can help you get involved. Global game jams are great. These are things that are even more important than college, because actually getting your feet wet, and actually, if you want to make games, then make one. Nowadays, anybody can make an iPhone game. Anyone.
There should be a
So,
local IGDA chapter in your town.
There
All you
should
have
be.
to do is go to their website. I just put the link up in channel, and you can check out to see where your nearest chapter is. If there is not a chapter near you, all you got to do is put in, they have a section on the website where you can contact IGDA. Someone will get back to you, and they can help you, if you're interested, start your own chapter if you should
Yep.
so feel so inclined. We are members, I should say Roundtable Media, which is the parent company to Ladies of the Roundtable. We are official members. We're business members. And we are constantly working with them to encourage and inspire and motivate more women to get into the industry with the basis of video games as a spring off or a jumping point, or however you want to put it, to technology. So we're hoping that everything that we do with our brand will inspire you guys and girls out there to kind of look at things differently than how you've been looking at it for the last, 10 years? Sadly, women in the industry, whether it's tech or video games or making beer or, gosh, drilling oil, whatever it is, their numbers are very low for women to do those types of jobs. And why? Is because a lot of times in our generation, I'm talking about Nikki, Ivana, and myself, and some of you people out there that are our age, parents just didn't encourage girls to go for that type of job. We were encouraged to go to cooking, home ec, sewing,
beauty,
typing.
anything beauty related.
Yes, anything that was a skill that has to do with a telephone and a keyboard, we were there, right? Administrative. We were never taught to take a power tool or given a power tool to say, drill some holes in that thing and just take a hammer and just go for it. No, girls didn't do that.
But I bet, Carmen, I bet you, me, and Nikki were, like, I know I could shoot and fish, and I could do all those things, but a lot of the people in our generation that aren't tomboys are raised that way. Predominantly, it's more predominant. In fact, when you were talking about how few girls there are, we had been talking, Carmen, you and I had been talking about Corinne Yu, who was going to try to come out and talk at one of the panels this year, and she went from Microsoft or Xbox. Now she's at Naughty Dog, and she just told me she's going to be way too swamped in 2015 to come out, but that she totally endorses it. She has a little baby daughter, and
great.
Yeah. And this little girl, okay, so Corinne Yu, if you don't know, is a chief engine architect. So she built the engine for Halo 4, and she also worked at Gearbox as an engineer programmer there as well. And so she's encouraging her daughter to be that way. She didn't even have to. She just has two parents who will let their daughter go. This little girl's father is Kenneth, and he had been at id forever, and then at Halo, at Microsoft, and now I can't even remember who Kenneth's working for now.
He's working for Oculus, right?
And so, oh, that's right, you're right.
Oculus,
so Kenneth Scott, and I know that, and they're wonderful, they're great people. They're just raising their girl. You know what? Go for it, whatever you want to do. She's just teeny tiny, but she already has like this techie sort of mind, like what you were saying. I think probably the little bitty girls are going to be the most exposed to all these advantages.
Yes.
As Pixie's like right between like us and the little girls. She's like, okay, I'm in between here, and she's still going to have advantages. Oh, you're so cute. She's going to have advantages, but these really young ones, it's sort of like that Dove commercial that they had recently. I don't know if you saw the video where it's like a girl, and they asked the older girls how to throw like a girl, and the little bitty girl said throw like a girl, and she just threw. You know, whereas the older girls were like this, you know. So hopefully these young girls don't ever have that sort of sexism.
And I think that brings us to a great segue as to why, when I approached you about LORT, and coming on the advisory board and introducing you to the brand and the mission that we had. Why? And I'm sure that maybe before that you've heard of us or kind of had an inkling of us. Did you go out and research and then say, okay, I'd like to be on board? Or were you already aware of the brand? And what made you make that choice?
I would say seriously, Ash Monif was probably the biggest influence because I had not heard of you, or maybe I had a little bit. But so what was happening was, I think we were having coffee, Ash and I were, and I was talking. Oh, I never got to say this before. Such a great guy. I said, yeah, I could get some girls for you to do some shows or whatever. I said, I have all kinds of attractive females. He goes, oh, she doesn't even need to be attractive. And I went, he goes, no, I just want a girl who's passionate about the brand or about the game
Right.
or about whatever. And I literally just dropped my jaw and went, oh my God, how forward thinking. You know, this is so cool. And he's like, because to me, they're all attractive. And I was like, I agree. I so wholeheartedly agree. And then the next thing you know, we were talking. We ended up talking for probably an hour, which is strange for E3.
Oh, I know where
Normally
you
it's
were.
15 minutes at the max.
Over
But
at the
he
bar,
ended up
yeah.
telling me about you, and then I met you. And then I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then, yeah. And we met out at softball, I think, on the front of softball. And I said, and so when you were telling me about the STEM studies, I was like, that's so awesome. And yeah, as soon as I met you, I really felt like, oh, this is so cool because I could see in your heart and I could see in your eyes and in your soul, you were passionate about this. And
She's amazing.
yeah, that's what made
Oh,
me
thanks, guys.
completely on board.
I think that the
You're,
more that I devote
It was
myself to
you.
the passion that I allow myself to release from my inner being, I guess, if you will, because it is hard when you're knee deep in it or neck deep in it, and you just have this drive that you don't even understand where it's coming from, but you know it's in here. You just have to get it out. It's hard to channel that in a way that's productive sometimes, and that's why I have brought on Nikki and Pixie and Ian and the people that are behind the scenes like Jericho to be able to kind of rein me in, you know, rein Mama in when
Yep.
she
with
gets
the lasso.
a little crazy, because I'm a creative person and I just have to spew things out and then start structuring them. So I could never do this without my team. So as awesome as you guys may think I am, I have to say that you guys are my rock. You guys make this dream that I have seem much more than a dream. And I'm going to get teary-eyed here because I love what I do. I love the fact that we're able to eventually reach the goal of being able to give some kids some money to go to school that may have never been able to go to school. And it's very important for me, for everybody out there that's watching, to understand that it's not about money for us. It's not about going to conventions and look at us, looky, we are out somewhere covering this because we're having, to be Twitter famous. That's not what we want. What we want to be able to do is to provide a charitable action and ask you guys to think about the things that you're doing as a community before you start making waves, because every action has a reaction. And as a mom, as a person who has a kid that's walking into this industry and is on the Xbox probably every other day playing games with other adults and other kids, and my kid is coding Linux at 12 years old, I'm proud to say that she's a nerd. I'm proud to say that she's a geek. That kid eats books for breakfast. I can't keep her out of books. She reads for fun. And for kids like her to be able to inspire me, I just want to be able to give back. So when I say that we got t-shirts on sale, guys, those t-shirts, 100% of that profit goes to this charity. Not in my pocket. I'm not going to get my nails done. My girls work for free. They're all volunteer. None of this stuff is for us. I want you guys to understand why we do this. Eventually we'll have some promo videos out and you can kind of get a little bit more detail as to what's going on behind the scenes. but we work hard every day because we love our community. Um, and again, Yvonne, I appreciate you coming on board because I think it's important for me as an entrepreneur to see someone like yourself who has been through some of these growing pains as a startup and to be able to bounce things off of, to say, yes, that's a good idea, or we've seen people try that and they failed, because the waters that we navigate right now are very, very interesting time frame, right?
Yeah, yep. Yeah, it's exciting for me because when I first got it, I'll tell you what happened was I got a degree in psychology and I wanted to be a psychologist until I found out that I was too empathetic to do the job. I was working for Children's Protective Services and I would go work for one shift and come home and cry for 2 days. And
Yeah.
so I was told, you know what, you're not cut out for this. You're too sensitive. You need to work with girls, or they didn't say anything. I said, I want to work with girls that are already relatively healthy and get them better. So when I ran across, and that's pretty much what I've done with the agency. A lot of people think that it's just an agency, but like from PAX, I had a girl, beautiful girl, didn't know she was, right? But beautiful girl, and I helped her all along the way over the last couple of years, but she was never extroverted, and I was able to help her find herself. She got through with PAX, and everybody was raving about how much better she was than the year before that, and things like that, and she's really come into knowing who she is as a person, right? I have this to offer for the world. And so when I found you, I was like, this is exciting because I think females will be able, I know it happens with males as well, but females in particular, they'll be able to find strengths in themselves that they didn't know that they had, or they're more encouraged to pursue those strengths.
I think that overall we want Lord Nation to be a place where a common theme would be everyone, every one of us, as a gamer, a geek, a nerd, whatever you want to call yourself, has had a place in your life or still is in that area where you feel ostracized in some way, you feel different, you maybe don't feel accepted, and we've all experienced that. There's no one out there that can't say they
Right?
haven't experienced that. So we want this
Absolutely. Right,
this
I agree.
this to be very important and feel safe for
Right.
us to come together because we all like the same things in some shape, form, or fashion. We all talk the same language. So why beat up on each other for being different? That's the common
Right.
thread.
That's
We're
exactly
all the
right.
same.
We really,
So
we have, I had, I can tell you that I know so many, like you were asking me before, what other charities I'm involved with, because I really encourage this one. I'm really excited about about Ladies of the Round Table and their push for STEM studies for girls and the scholarship. But I've also been involved with domestic violence a lot, and it seems like down the line, you hardly meet a girl anymore that hasn't been the victim of some sort of abuse. You
yeah,
hardly meet anyone, and that's so sad. So then you sit there and you go, okay, so let's just all get together and be strong about it instead of letting it whip our ass, right? And
right.
this
Because
is part of how you do it. You're like, okay, I'm not ignoring it, I'm not denying it, but my time of being whooped by it, it's gone on long enough. I'm ready to kick some ass, world. Come on, let's do this. And I think that that's part of what's so exciting about Ladies of the Round Table. Is there? I love the proactive, positive side of it. Is that we're not. And I also liked even the way you even handled all these different things that have come up. I haven't been online because I've been up in studio. I haven't even seen what's been going on with this. The bad talking. What was it
gamer
called?
gates, yeah,
Gamergate. Yeah,
yeah,
so I haven't even been involved in it, but the most exciting part about it is to go, you know what? Screw you guys. Y'all are idiots. If you're going to be asses, I'm just going to, just block you, ignore you, whatever. I'm going to go on and be positive with my life. I don't need your crap and your idiocy to drag me down, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed, agreed. And I think that for a lot of people like myself and maybe Nikki and even Pixie at times, and about you, we can let that stuff roll off our back because we've had some licks in our lives, took some lessons, took some lumps, and we're able to rise above that. But there are some people who just can't.
I
They're
know,
not thick
that's right.
skinned and they
That's
can't do
right. You
that.
have to be there
So
for them.
what we've done with Ladies of the Round Table, and the reason why I picked the name is because when you think about Knights of the Round Table, what were the knights tasked with? Does anybody know, Nikki, Pixie, what the knights were tasked with back in the day?
Oh my God.
I'll tell you that what they were tasked with.
Tell
You guys in
us.
chat,
Please tell us,
you guys in
Carmen.
chat, go ahead and type it in if you know. The knights were tasked with upholding certain laws that were the betterment for the betterment of the kingdom, not for the king and queen, but the betterment of the kingdom. And that meant to uphold those things that were for the community. And when I thought about the Knights of the Round Table, I was like, I really want us, yeah, ting, I want the ladies to be light bulb, the ladies to be that. I want us to be able to uphold those basic common decencies and those laws in our community that we all grew up with, and the reason why we played tabletop or video games to begin with, because they're not there and it's gone rogue. You know, it's a one-up situation, or somebody's got to just tell me about my boobs and blast me out because I have them, won't let me apply for a team because I have boobs even though I can play the game. Those things are just not acceptable. I'm not going to make a game. I'm going to make this game, and then I'm not going to make a female character because I'm too damn lazy as a studio to just augment the game that you've already built
we're
to make
going
a
back
female
there again?
character. I didn't go anywhere. I'm just making a statement. But you know, those kind of things. We make up over 47% of the consumer population for these games, as well as other tech things. So why can't we have a voice? Why can't we say that we like this or don't like that without somebody being up my ass? The other thing is, all you guys out there that want gamer girlfriends, give me a break. If you see something
We ain't
going
gonna
on,
date you. Are you kidding me? We
if you
ain't
see
gonna
something
date
going
you.
on that you don't like or you wouldn't want your sister, your mother, or your ex-girlfriend to deal with, don't stand there looking stupid with your balls in your hands. Step up, dude. I'm calling you out. It's not okay. My guys that are in chat right now, Ian, my boy in the back, you guys get props because you guys will do that. But the
Make
rest
sure
of
my
you,
kids don't hear this shit.
you need to ride or die, all right? I'm that chick. Bring it.
I see so many, I guess because it's as horrible as it is now, it was exponentially, and I swear to God, I hate that. Back when I was at the, back in the day. But
Back in the day.
back in the day, seriously, back then, it was horrific. Like, okay, you get tons of dick shots sent to you, but
I
at
don't know. It's not pretty.
Oh shit! What the hell's up
The
with
fuck
that?
do I want to look at that for? I
I
don't
know,
know.
right?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hate to say this, but like that shit looks like something that grew up in the ocean next to a fucking sulfur jet. Put it the fuck away.
And on that note, I can't even
Next.
top that. I can't even go. I'm moving on. Nikki, what you got?
Are we
We
at the
just
point
lost
where
you,
we've
Ron.
are we at the part
Oh.
where we start talking about what we've watched?
We're at the point where you congratulate Megan Smith, by the way.
I know, but it's so
Just
long
give her
ago.
a recap.
All right,
just
we'll give a
congratulate her.
recap. I was all ready for this a while ago, and then we went 2 hours, right?
It's okay. We're having a great time.
Yeah, we
We
are.
have no other place to be.
All right, so we, the ladies of the round table, are congratulating Megan Smith. She has appointed a new chief technology officer, becoming the United States' first female CTO. On Thursday, the White House announced the appointment of Google veteran Megan Smith, who was most recently vice president of the company's Google X Moonshot Lab, and replacing the outgoing Todd Park. She became the United States' first female CTO. You said that twice. In all likelihood, Smith's time will be more than occupied leading this effort to modernize government. That means encouraging more diversity in the tech may well become a secondary mission. In an interview with Wired earlier this summer, Smith explained that one reason so few women pursue careers in tech is that they lack visible role models. Hey, we're right here, right? There are two to three, right? There are two to three women. It's all right. There are 2 to 3 million women programmers in the world. We need to see more of them, and that's why we're here, right? We're here to help that vision to make sure that that gets done. So, this is, I think this is a good point that Obama hasn't. I guess this is the administration appointing her, right? Because I'm reading this from
Yes.
you and not somebody else. So he's had no problem appointing controversial people, whether it be transgender people to the Department of Commerce, women in these roles. The original EPA chief, the woman that left because of the Keystone decision that Obama wound up going with, he's appointed some of the, some great women figures out there, and I think that's wonderful. So this is just another one of those appointments that he's making that's definitely helping us with our mission here at Ladies of the Round Table.
Do you think that after this is leading up to whoever's going to win the next election, I think that this is going to set us up for some good things, regardless of who actually wins. What do you guys think?
I think that this definitely paves the way, right? The more firsts like this happen, the more they'll become common. So I think that, yeah, it's definitely going to move into. I don't know who's going to win the next election.
Hey, I'm going to ask you this question.
You have to start somewhere.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is good.
And this is at least a good starting point.
I don't think
Rome wasn't built in a day.
I don't think that at this point it would be that huge of an ordeal or surprise or horrible thing, even, I mean, for a woman to even be president. I mean, like 20 years ago, oh my God, no way. And nowadays it'd be like, well, is she the best candidate?
Right.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. I'm going to ask a political question. I know we try to stay away from political topics, but I'm going to ask this, and you're going to give me a yes or no yes or no answer. That's all I'm asking. Yes or no.
Oh, God.
All right, I'm going to go to Yvonne first. Do you think Hillary Clinton will run for presidency during this next election?
Oh, I have no idea. I really don't.
That's a good answer. Yes or no. Yes or no is all we get. We're not going to elaborate too much more. You don't know. All right. Pixie?
I have no idea.
All right, Nikki.
Staying away from that one.
Okay, that's
I live
fair.
in Georgia. I live in Georgia in a very, very, very red subdivision, so I'm not allowed to mention that name.
You can say you don't know either. All right, you guys in chat. Yes or no?
I think the best thing to say is that at this day and age, and I'm really excited to see this, I think it is becoming a far less issue what religion, sex, whatever you are. I think it's becoming, I would like to think, no, let me change this. I would like to think that it's more about whatever your stances are. But
that's what we'd like to think about a lot of things, but that doesn't happen.
You're from Texas, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing changing in Texas or Georgia.
Well, I don't know. Things change. I mean, like, it's really exciting when you see some things changing.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So the thing is I don't think if there is a woman president that it will happen for the next election.
I'm going to say that I would hope that I am alive to see this possibility.
Think you probably, I think you probably will be. I think it'll take like another 10 years probably.
No, I don't. I think it's in the next couple of elections it's going to happen. There just has to be the right candidate put up there.
I agree.
The next couple of elections every 4 years.
Yeah, that's right. It's not.
And that's okay.
So almost 10 years.
No, I'm saying it's going to be in the next two elections, either this one or the next one. This next president's going to be it's going to be an interim because we just had two huge shifts, one to the right and one to the left, and the pendulum's going to come back to the middle little by little, and we're going to get another president like Clinton in the next two elections, and hopefully.
All right, guys. I'm cutting the political chat off. It was a yes or no question. We're getting too deep.
What?
Let her talk.
That's what we're going to. That's exactly what we're going to, Ivana. Great segue. All right, guys. I have the pleasure of taking this Samsung Gear Fit for a spin. All right. If you guys haven't seen the Gear Fit, I think Vanna's got one on. It's you know, one of those fancy dancy
It's
watches, text thingy, whoozy whatsy, got all kinds of stuff on it where all I wanted to do was track my steps, but I got a lot more bang for my buck. So it has a seriously ridiculous AMOLED screen, 128 by 432 pixels. It's really light. I was surprised that since it's very big in size for the band. Here's the actual. I know Ian's got some pictures somewhere. It's the actual display. You guys can see that. And you can change the screen to be vertical or horizontal, and you can change out the bands. Okay, so if I want this to be yellow, green, or whatever color, we can do that as well. And the battery lasts for about 3 days. Yvonne, how long did you say your battery? Maybe 3 days, 4 days?
I just got mine like a week ago.
Okay.
And it was to go with my phone, which is really great because I'll tell you what, you can put it on this on this ultra saver thing. And so if you ever get a Samsung S5, which I got and I love, I haven't loved a phone like this since the iPhone.
I've got the big old
3S.
Galaxy.
Yes, that's what I get to a Galaxy S5. And I love that it interacts with it. And you can even, don't shake your head, Pixie.
She gets so excited.
And the other thing is, I'm so excited. You know why? Because like even with the heart rate monitor, like, okay, so I went to the dentist last week and had some tooth work done and they had to take my heart rate. And it was only one number off. Like it was 71 and
so you
70.
got to test it. I see.
I got to test it against an ultra super. Oh my God, what are you gonna do?
So this
and
thing
is
is
oh my God, that's really close.
27 grams. That's really light for this sucker.
Yep.
And you get email notifications, text notifications. You can track your sleep, which I tracked my sleep the other day, and it told me like the percentage of I had 6 hours of sleep, and I was at 87% rest, meaning the rest of the percentage I was flailing myself around and whatnot. So it wasn't restful sleep. And then it's actually waterproof and dust resistant, so you can wear it in the shower. Have you worn yours in the shower?
I have. And it's cool looking.
You can get skins for this. You can get skins for this screen, and mine is purple.
You're just jealous.
Like LORT.
You're just jealous, Nikki.
No, I'm not, sweetie. Never happen. Never, ever in this world would that happen.
I tell you what,
enough technology in her life.
I did not think that I would like this, but I really do. And I have little skinny tiny wrists, and it doesn't
This
even
is mine right here.
Huge on me. Yep. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Everybody, there's all kinds of these suckers out here, and the reason why I want to test this is because there's so many to choose from, and there's different price ranges for different budgets, and there's also different reasons why you want to get one. You know, for me, this is attached to me 24/7, and I am consistently having a phone call or a text or a meeting or reply to emails. And with this, you can do some some text reply on this. They're very short text reply. So I don't have to be attached to this. I got to be near it. Don't get me wrong. There's a range for the Bluetooth. But I'm going to do this for about 30 days. And I'll give you guys an update on the website. Check my blog, and we'll see if I like it as much as I like it right now. This thing I've had for about 2 weeks, and I don't even remember I'm wearing it. There's days where I just like I took it off to charge it, and I went, I'm missing something. What am I missing? And it's my Fitbit. I know friends that have the TomTom makes one, and then also there's another one out there that is. What's the other one that is fairly new as well?
Does anyone have a Razor? One from Razor?
I do not. I haven't seen that one.
I need to get you hold of
Razor's getting the competition.
They actually, way back in January at CES, they were showing off an uber cool thing like this where it did everything. You know, and I'm like,
you hook us up with Razor, you'll check it out and we'll write a review. All right, guys. So we are way over time, and we're gonna start rolling into.
Oh my God!
what we're watching, and I think Nikki, what are you watching?
Oh my God, what the hell did I go see Lucy for?
So I told you, didn't I tell you not to
My
go see
boys were
it?
like, all right. So, do you want to go see Lucy or Guardians of the Galaxy? When's Guardians of the Galaxy at 12:30? Because I had to be somewhere at like 4:15, and they're like, no, because they were playing their games and didn't want to do anything. So they're like, we'll go see Lucy. I'm like, I don't want to go see Lucy. Get ready. No, we want to go see Lucy. They loved it. I suffered through it. I was like, this has to be the worst movie I've ever
I
watched
told
ever.
you.
What? Did you not
Ever.
see Guardians of the Galaxy, Nikki?
No, we saw Lucy.
She hasn't seen it yet,
Oh
so
my
don't ruin it for her.
God!
Don't ruin
No,
it for
because
her.
my
It's so good.
kids, my
It was-
kids, no, my kids day to day and my life is so filled with stuff. We get a day or two a week that we could do things, and most of that is baseball and football, right?
Yeah.
And Battlefield and Call of Duty. So it's like trying to get them to do anything is nuts.
I have to tell you, Nikki, that
Lucy
I
was
tried to
horrible.
forewarn you about the Lucy.
No,
but
you did. I knew it wasn't
it's
my
okay.
choice.
The kids wanted to go see it, and you gave your opinion,
They
and
loved
I
it.
validate your opinion. My daughter said it was cool too, and maybe it was
Terrible
the
was an
concept of
upgrade.
speaking to a younger generation, because I was like 10
Oh,
minutes in,
give
I'm
me-
like, oh my God,
Give
how
me a
much
break.
time do we have
Even
left?
the younger generation should realize she gets this crystal blue meth in
Hey,
her
don't
belly.
tell anybody. Come on,
No,
people might
but
not
come
have
on.
seen it.
Oh, come
No
on.
spoilers,
Thank
you know
God.
the rule.
I'm gonna spoil it and save you.
You know the
But
rule.
there was
Well, go
one.
see Guardians
Oh
of the Galaxy.
God.
Yeah.
I
Do it.
can't believe how horrible
Guardians
that
of
was.
the Galaxy is a
it.
must-see movie.
No, I'm
But-
I
just
can
psyched.
say
I am
it's
just psyched.
awesome.
I am just psyched that after seeing that they're bringing the cast of Farscape back again.
Yeah!
And I think I've said this back. And they're going to do a movie and think about doing another live action TV show. So I'm very happy about that. It's Muppets in space. It's awesome. I love that
Hell
show.
yeah.
Awesome. So
Okay,
And I
feature length
see that
movie.
Jericho said that he wants to wait, I gotta go back up in the chat. What'd you say, Jericho? You want to see
Guardians of the Galaxy.
what's the actress that plays in Lucy that I can't think of right now, who just had a baby?
Scarlett Johansson,
Scarlett
who was
Johansson.
also on The Fappening.
Scarlett Johansson
Yes.
he wants to see her do a Black Widow movie, which I
Well,
could
they
see
said they were
maybe
gonna
being
do
done.
that, I think.
Yeah,
Or they're
so
gonna
we'll
do a
see if
movie-
it comes to fruition.
All right.
Black
Okay,
Widow.
now-
So
Scarlett
is anybody
Johansson.
going to be playing Is anybody going to be playing Destiny on Tuesday? Me.
I don't have a copy, so I'm not going to be playing it. My
If I
daughter
could
wants to
find
play it.
money,
Yeah,
I'm broke.
it's
I'm
it's
broke.
it's called monetary compensation of some form.
Yeah,
Remember, we all volunteer.
I'm broke.
We're done.
If you want me to get
Well, I will
Destiny,
see
go out to my
somebody.
Patreon and what'd you say?
I will be seeing somebody on Destiny.
You're
on
gonna
Tuesday.
see our Derek in Destiny, because he's
Yeah.
been playing Destiny. And we'll get you his contact information. You guys can hook up and do some damage. I know that my daughter played the beta and she was pretty excited about that.
I
She's
love the beta.
happy with
So
that
excited.
thing. So Nikki, what are you watching on TV? If you're watching, and I want to know if you're watching it in real time or did you go back and watch something?
Everything is time shifted that I watch.
Okay.
So I went back and started watching Criminal Minds again. I just love that show, and it's great. And I'm watching that. And I'm a sci-fi nut, so I started watching a show called Haven on Sci-Fi, and I binge watched it all the way through. I was like, oh, this show's going to be stupid. The first episode I watched, and like again, it was probably a week later that I'm through the first season. I go, all right,
Yeah.
it wasn't so bad. I like it. It's okay. It works. So I'm happy that it came back for another season. It's definitely one of their better shows, not like the lesbian lover Lost Girl that you get to watch all the time, but it's good. It's good.
Hey.
What?
Lost Girl is amazing.
Has everybody in the world seen Supernatural but me? Because like I've been binge watching that for
You have
about a
not. You're
month.
late.
Oh,
You're like
I'm waiting.
Nikki, you're late to the
I'm
party.
waiting.
I'll
Are you
watch that.
49 also? You must be about 39, right?
I must be. I tell you what I am.
36?
totally
What?
in love with Dean.
Yes, you are. That's what happens when you watch that
Yeah.
show. You know, I'll tell you
My
what, he
husband-
just got a Twitter, by the way, so hit that up.
No, I follow him. My husband
Yeah.
actually named his demon hunter in Diablo Dean Winchester.
So you can love that some more. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but
we actually, that's how we hardly, I don't even, other than Game of Thrones and Defiance, I don't watch anything in real time.
You've been
Oh, you
watching
watched
Defiance?
Defiance?
Oh,
You watched
God, I
Defiance?
gotta.
Oh, I thought I
Ah.
was the only person in the world watching
My
Defiance.
kid makes me watch it, and I can't. I just
love
sit there like, what the
Defiance.
hell?
Let Ivana
I don't watch
talk.
it either, Shavasta. Don't feel bad.
Guys,
I don't
let
watch it
Ivana
either.
talk. She's
And
talking.
I also, actually, Jamie and Tony brought me up on stage at Dallas Comic Con because I was dressed as a Stama Stark. I mean Stama Tar, and
awesome.
yeah, it was really cool. And I
Had
love
all the white skin and
Grant,
everything.
yes, and I
Awesome.
love Grant Bowler. I love
Do you
those
have
guys.
pictures
And
of that up on the internet?
you know what? I don't even know if that it is. I am really horrible. I need to have someone just following me all the time because things happen and I don't ever get pictures of it. I know, right?
Right.
But yeah, it was really cool. They brought me up on stage and everything because I did a pretty decent Stama, though I have to give it to the face-off people, the Muaz, the makeup artists, because that white that looks funky in photographs if it's not done right. Now, like if I ever did it again, I wouldn't use a clown white or a blue white because when you use it in photographs, hey, this is your cosplay hint for the week.
Right.
Do not use a blue white. Use a yellow white because when it comes off on flash, it looks freaky. But yeah, they were great. I love all those
Okay,
people.
good.
Very sweet, very kind, and they actually all are friends. And that's kind of
Jericho
cool.
says that he
Wait,
watches
who's
Defiance
all
and he
friends?
plays the game.
Oh, there's a
I
game?
love it.
Yeah. Oh my God, the game's been out for a while. It was actually pay to play, and then it went free to play because it was kind of falling off. But there is some
it
things
just
in that game that are pretty exciting. It's an MMO, you know, it's a
console or
multiplayer
PC?
game, and it's free. And you have to
Console
ride
or
this
PC?
quad. I believe it's for PC or for
It's
both.
PC.
It's not console yet.
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
For sure.
But I know it's PC for sure. And I think that you would like it, but I don't know how much time you're going to have to devote to it because I know you and your schedule and your World of Tanks can't, I don't know about you.
World of Tanks
still haven't played it. My
World of
girls have
Tanks
played
to
it.
the side.
Oh, World of
Because
Tanks got kicked to the curb?
I have
racing.
never played it. They have because they were representing it. If I'd been there, if I'd been the rep, I would have learned it. But I haven't learned it yet, and I've been playing Diablo.
Yes, you have been playing Diablo.
I don't
You have
play
a
World of
problem.
Tanks at
There's
all
a-
anymore. Not at all.
Yeah,
I won't play World of Tanks. No
Yeah.
way. No. No.
And,
Star Citizen has racing when it comes out next week, and that's it for me. I'm done.
oh yeah, you're done. You're lost to the world.
I've got
Yep.
I got hooked up with Ben, got my racing ship. I'm all set now.
So
All
we
ready
have
to
a
go.
ship to give away, Nikki.
Some of
We have
us
a ship
still
for you to
need
give
the
away.
hookup with Ben, Nikki.
Oh, but you walked away when I said let's go talk to him.
Uh-oh.
I had stuff I had to do.
You didn't come
So-
out and have beers with Ben like I did.
Ivana, what are you watching on TV? What's your
Defiance.
your favorite thing right now that you cannot miss besides your boy and
Supernatural.
Dean? Yeah.
Actually, do you know? I'll tell you a side thing about Dean. He actually has the perfect symmetry and everything according to. Oh my God. Why is this not leaving me?
What are you
Okay, so this is
talking
my
about?
ninth glass of wine. Who cares? I should know this famous artist, architect, everything. Oh, anyway, he's perfect. Aside from aside from Supernatural and Defiance, yeah, Doctor Who. Yes,
Doctor
because
Who,
it's
yeah.
started back again.
Oh, Peter Capaldi
and you know
was
what?
awesome.
I thought I wasn't gonna like this new Doctor, and I love him.
That's what a lot of people are saying. My daughter just got caught up on binge watched like the couple episodes have been out, and my husband happened to walk in the room in the middle of it, and he said, "Who's that old guy?"
I know.
And
But he's
and
so
she said, "It's the new
awesome.
Doctor," and he goes, that old guy's a new doctor, but guess what he did? He sat on the couch and he watched 2 more episodes. So don't let his face fool you. Actually,
I
it sucked him
know,
in.
right?
That's awesome.
A
It's
lot of
like
people
us
say
that
that.
are who are not 20 somethings anymore. Don't let the old
Right.
face fool you.
That's true. We're like fine wine. We just get better and better. So,
Well, you know what? Actually, I will tell you one quick story as we leave. When I was a waitress, I used to look at this bartender, and she was a lot older, and I used to think, why is she getting all of the amazingly hot dudes, right? Because she was older. But it was because she was older and she wasn't so full of shit, and she knew you knew what she knew who she was. She knew what she wanted.
and she
So,
was twerking it on the back scene. That's what happened. She knew what to do. She knew what she'd do.
she knew who she was. She knew
Yeah,
who
that's
she
right.
knew.
She knew what
And
she'd do.
yeah, yeah, you don't have to be a 20 something anymore. When we're talking about Stark, Jamie, when you see people like Cersei and Stama doing these almost nude scenes, but they're so wow hot,
Chain
right?
link
You're like,
bikini.
oh, and huh?
The
What?
chain link thing that she wears when she gets in the tub.
I know, right? And it's so exciting to me because I know a lot, and this is interesting because we were talking about women, and I guess I'm whatever, a fourth or fifth wave feminist, because I think it's exciting that women are not pegged into this, you know, corner anymore where they have to be a certain way at a certain age. And it's so exciting to see these older women doing like, oh my God, you're totally sexy hot at your age. And I don't even think when I see her, I don't think, wow, you're hot for your age. I think, wow, you're hot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
That
mean?
that goes right into a good segue for Lucy Lawless coming into the Agents of Shield. She's a woman of an older generation like us who has been around for a while. She did some great things back in the day, and you could tell that she kept physically fit. And then she's done some other things on HBO or Showtime. I can't remember which the show was on, and she still looks good. And it's like Sigourney Weaver. They just look phenomenal for their age.
That,
It's
yeah.
awesome, and
And
they're
it's
still
really
doing
cool
strong
because
women roles.
I think that what you're seeing nowadays, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing a for your age thing. I'm
Right.
thinking it's kind of like a girl. How do you throw like a girl? Well, you just throw. How do you look hot? You just look hot. It's not looking hot for your age. It's not looking hot because you're a girl or a guy or whatever. It's just, you care about yourself, you're eating good, you're exercising, you're doing whatever you need to do, and you feel great about yourself. And you look at these other people and you're like, I don't even think that. When I see Stama getting out of the bath in that chainmail thing, I'm not thinking, wow, you look good for your age. I'm thinking, wow, you look great.
Yeah,
Period.
I agree. She looks damn good.
Yeah, she
And that's
does.
something that each of you guys should tell yourself when you get up in the morning. I'm here to tell you,
Agree.
you are the only person that's going to appreciate you. Everybody else aside, your husband, your kid, whoever your significant other is, you got to care about yourself. If you don't do that first and foremost, it's going to take you a long time to get where you're
And,
at.
and kind of like you were saying earlier, sometimes it's hard for people to do that at first. It really is. It took me until I was married. And I'd been in Vogue and Mary Claire and everything. And because I was modeling when grunge was in, which
Yeah.
was grunge had just started. So I thought I was ugly because I wouldn't get cast for the editorials. Well, actually, it was just the reverse. I was too polished looking for them, and so I thought, oh my God, I'm so ugly. So it doesn't even matter. You can't even look at what you think in the magazines or whatever. You can't use that as a factor. You do have to learn it by yourself, and if you can't learn it by yourself, then be with a support group, like maybe Ladies of the Round Table, who will
Oh.
help you feel good about yourself, and not just based on your looks, but on everything.
So, Pixie, what the hell are you watching?
Okay, so I've been watching The Quest, and Ian and I are in the show notes having a little discussion on it. Because he apparently can't watch this show for more than like 5
I don't even know
minutes.
what the show is and what
Okay,
channel
so
it's on and what time. Fill me in.
Basically, he's taken into a fantasy world, and everyone around them is in this like fantasy scripted like movie essentially, and all of these people who are brought in are on like a reality show. And it's all to find out like who the best hero is that's going to be able to save the realm. And it's like the show is kind of dumb. Like I'm not going to lie. It's kind of laughable.
So it's
But
a
for some
guilty
reason
pleasure.
it has like this cute, adorable charm to me. And it does because there are people on it that I find to be people that they're people that like they feel like my best friends. They feel like people that like I would literally sit there and talk to you for like hours on end. There's a girl named Bonnie on it. I think she's totally adorable. Everyone knows that she's not like super smart or super fast or like super great at anything really. But the thing is like this girl has like so much heart. Like she fails all of these challenges and she's like, I can do better. Like I can do so much better. And it's just like it's one of those things that like you don't really think about, but it's like very motivational and like awe-inspiring, and it's very like heroic in its own way. And I think that it's interesting because I think it does shine a light on the fact that like everyone in the world has like this little bit of heroism in them, and it's like how you go about displaying that. And for me,
what
that's part of why I like
on?
it.
What times it come on?
It's on ABC.
What's the name of it?
Once Upon a Time?
Everything's Once Upon a Time.
It's The Quest.
Oh, The Quest.
That was good for me. Woo!
It's on ABC, and I don't remember what time it is. I've been watching it on DVR.
The Quest actually was casting here in Dallas. Huh. It's interesting. I knew some girl that was really good for this, and she had just quit. She had just quit Charisma Plus 2, and I was really sad about that because she would have been perfect for it. Oh well.
Sorry. So Nikki,
hey, it
you
happens.
got something going on with Ben? You got something you want to talk about with Ben?
No, well, not
Or you already
really.
said that? Okay,
Well, no,
I'm moving on.
Well, that's part of my see you later.
All right, so shout outs are about to occur. If you're not familiar with some shout outs, we're going to tell you how to do them and how to do them with some fun and some sass, because that's how we roll. All right, so shout outs are our informal goodbyes and quotes and whatever else you want to spew out there while we're done, like where to find our guest, who we want to say kudos to this week, and who we think just really hit the shitter this week. You know, whatevs. It's your personal opinion. I have to say that the opinions that we're about to express are not the opinions of the company. They are the opinions of the hosts. All right? So I'm going to go with Pixie first.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over the whole shitter thing. Okay, so
Dirty mouth.
So shout outs to Mal, my favorite person ever on Curse. He's always here and he's awesome, and we're probably gonna play a bunch of games later. Shout outs to Hobby Lobby and to Joanne's for supplying me with cheap canvas to paint on and lots of paint.
For letting your creativity flow. Oh,
shout outs to the towels on my floor for protecting my carpet from paint. Shout outs to you guys for being here and dealing with my insane nutty butt all the time. And shout outs to Ivana. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure having you.
Absolutely.
Nikki.
Shout out to Ivana because you made my day. You have so much energy and so much, information that you have been one of my top guests on the show so far, and I hope you come back because you have done a lot. You and Holly so far, awesome.
She got the chutzpah.
Yeah, Holly is one of the professional gamers that we have.
Oh, okay,
Holly's in the movie with us. Yeah, Holly Ann.
She's awesome. Yep. And I got to give a shout out to everybody I was with on Saturday night, the lost time that I don't remember. I put a drunk picture up that will never be up in time. I hit 1,000 subscribers on my channel while I was sitting in Sidebar with Ben Lesnick, David Haddock,
Awesome.
Captain Bruce, Kelsey, and Eris, and oh God, I feel like the music is going to start playing. I'm going to be pulled off the stage. But you know, and Oliver Mohawk, and it was good to be able to hit 1,000 when I was there with Ben and everybody else after walking him a mile and a half in the hotness of Atlanta. If you know Ben, walking him a
Hey,
mile
we
and a
see
half is
John's
not a good
picture of
thing.
Nikki. It's up on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
look at the lush.
yeah, so I had a great time, and I want to give a very big shout out to all the people that have been supporting me for the last 10 months that I've been doing these videos, and thank you very much for getting me to 1,000, and also giving me the first 100 subscriber week since I've been doing my channel. So that is wonderful. Thank you so much. And also
Congrats.
thank you, and a shout out, Carmen. I've never given you a shout out. Thank you for letting me be part of Ladies of the Round Table. And, you know, it's been a pleasure being part of this. And Pixie,